Okay. Guys, I'm super excited to do this call tonight. I had a lot of people that said, hey, make sure you record it. And I'm like, I know why they said that, because last week for the first time, or 2 weeks ago for the first time, I forgot. And I just want to thank Jenny Crane again. She did an awesome job last week. People just, I had massive texts. I had close to 100 people that watched the call. And guys, the reason that you should be doing LifeVantage is because you feel like you have a moral obligation to do this. Okay. I know that that's why Lisa and I do this. I know that that's why our guests that I'm having on tonight do this. And we feel like we've been entrusted with this opportunity. As I shared on our leadership call tonight, I am super intentional. This is my schedule for this week. Obviously, like Rob and Summer, we are traveling to Teach LifeVantage Academy, and there's another event that's going on this week also. So a lot of people are traveling, but the number one thing that I've learned about this business, and I know that two people that are on this call tonight, they're going to share with you guys, are more intentional than anybody I've ever met since I've been involved in LifeVantage. And I've shared this before, and I'll share this just because Rob and Summer are there now, is that when we all did John Maxwell's 15 Laws of Growth book, I asked John in a small group of people, I said, why is the law of intentionality the very first law in the book? And he said, because it's the most important one. And when you're intentional about what you do, and Lisa and I are taking intentional to the next level. And for those of you guys that don't know, Lisa and I are moving in a couple weeks. A lot of people do not know this yet, but some people do know this. Hey, Julia. And we are moving to Orlando, Florida, which we're super excited about. We were over looking at houses last week. We're going back over this week and next week to look at houses. And if you guys can pray for us, we're praying that our place closes and that we can just roll right into this, because we know that God has a plan and a purpose for everything that we're doing. And so we're super excited about that. And transition and change is good, guys. Transition and change is good, because that allows you to be humble, and it allows you to just walk out the plans and the purposes that God has for you. So let me share my screen with you guys here. So guys, look at Gabriella. So see, there she is on the screen. She'll probably see herself on the screen, and now she's pointing and touching it, which is really pretty cool. Guys, Rob and Summer Smolack became two of my good friends. I'm inspired by them just because of who they are, okay? And I found this picture of Gabriella, which is kind of really cool. Lisa and I really love this picture. And she's looking at it now and she's laughing, which is cool. So Rob and Summer, they reside in the great state of Montana, which is kind of cool. I always say they live out in the middle of nowhere, but that's kind of a cool place. And she's clapping, which is so cool. Guys, they are amazing parents. Like that is their life right there, right? As you can see, and like Summer will probably tell you, if not for LifeVantage, Gabrielle probably would not be around, because that's how Rob and Summer have done this together. What really encouraged me is they were recent winners of the influencer program when we were in Kansas City. That encouraged me. And guys, when we started going to Building Depth, Rob and Summer won like every promotion that they had. Like I'm sure maybe, I don't know how much money it was, but it was a lot of money, because each time I kept seeing like 5,000 here and 3,000 here and 2,000 here. And I'm like, wow, maybe I should start listening to them. Maybe I should start learning what they're doing. And there was some things that, and this will probably be the first time that they've heard this, because I left a voice message for them today when Summer said, what can I share? And I said, I normally just tell people just to pray and share what's on your heart. I kind of shared some things that I've learned from them that I think when you share stuff with other people, it's great. But when they hear it from other people, it's even greater, right? Because it's not coming from me, right? And so they're amazing teachers. I know they'll be teaching LifeVantage Academy this weekend. I'm not even sure where they're at. Maybe they can talk about it. I'm going to unmute them now. But welcome to the call. I'm so glad that you guys are here. So take it away.
Thanks, Michael. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you for setting the example that you do and have made such an impact on so many people's lives. So thank you for that. And so we'll be relatively quick, but intentionality is massively important. And you are right, it 100%, if it wasn't for the teachings of Master Pro 10 Marcel Niederhauser and LifeVantage, Gabriella absolutely would not be here, because I was working 80, 90 hours a week in my job. Rob was working over 100 hours a week in his businesses. It just wasn't possible. I couldn't stomach the idea of having a child and sending her to daycare. But being intentional, and the very first part of that is making sure that on Saturday you are attending the LifeVantage Academy. It's trainings like that changed our life forever. That's where you're going to learn how to do it. That's where you're going to, hey, Lisa, that's where you're going to get the belief, because they asked themselves 2 questions. Is this real and can I do it? Yeah, bring people with you that are not involved. Anybody that's on the fence, bring them with you, regardless if they're involved or not. That right there in itself has been powerful. And that is just going to be my key takeaway. I have an alligator that I got to wrestle, so I will be back.
She did not have a nap tonight, or today, you guys. We've been so busy today. And so someone kind of let me listen to your voicemail, Michael, to kind of let you guys know on what we did. I guess the first thing I had 11 companies and over 400 employees when I got involved in this business. And man, most people looked at me from the outside and thought, oh my God, Rob's got it made, right? I had amazing house. I had amazing cars. I had money. I had all of that. And I was dying inside. I literally was dying inside. And I met my wife 2 weeks after I saw this business. And so I believe my son, because my oldest son died in my arms, literally took his last breath while I was holding him. And that was a wake-up call for me about 7.5 years ago. That same year that my son passed away, I was paralyzed for about 3.5 months. I've got 6 rods holding my spine together. I got hit by a car walking across the street in downtown Sacramento, California. And then I was divorced also after 20 years of marriage. All happened in the same year. And I am here talking to you guys today just because I had 2 sons that I needed to be here for. And so I've been kind of through hell and back. And this business and my wife brought me back from that. I had no heart left when I saw this business. But when I did see it, that one little glimmer of hope that gave me, you guys, was, man, what if I could actually give back some way? People always wanted me to come and speak and talk to them in their companies on business. I really, truly didn't know how to teach people how to be successful in regular conventional business, because I've always ran all my conventional businesses unconventionally, right? And the reason why is because I see about 80% of businesses going under in about 3 years, and only 1% of the conventional businesses right now last longer than 10 years. So I was really unorthodox how I ran my companies. And so when I got involved in this business, I think when you're doing the behaviors, you're unorthodox because nobody's doing that. And I know, Mike, they talk about that on our tear-off sheet where it says MLM comparison. Well, it's like 85% of the people in this industry don't even sponsor one person. And so they're not in an MLM. I don't know what they're in. They're in a conventional business, I guess, with the chances of them succeeding being slim to none. And so really only about 14% of the people in this entire industry sponsor somebody. And so I think we're the ones, right? Michael and Lisa, we're the ones that are kind of unconventional in this industry, because you guys have no competition. Please hear what I just said. You literally have no competition out there when you're building this, because nobody sponsors anybody. And so that's how me and Summer were able to win these incentive trips, those building depth promotions. Is I just knew that we really didn't have any competition. So if we just went out there, did the work, we were going to win it. And that's all we did. It's like we didn't go out and do anything any really special. We just kind of did the work, and we were able to win those. And so the one way that we really got good at, you guys, is I know people get terrified when they go through their friends and their family pretty quickly in this, right? And then you get your yeses and your nos. And then that's when a big wake-up call happens for most people, right, Mike? When they're like, oh my God, I don't know anybody else. Now they're scared to death that they got to meet people. Well, what me and Summer have done is we never, ever run out of a names list. We've got so many people, like we could talk to 100 people a day, every day. Why? Is because when I share this with somebody, well, if they don't pull the trigger right then, I'm already into their names list. I literally am already into their names list. While they're sitting back trying to decide if they're going to do this, I already got 5, 10, 15, 20 names from them. Why? Is because I just said, hey, I'll show you how easy this is. I want you to send this text out to 10 people. I got a project I'm working on. I would really love your opinion on it. What you doing tonight at 7 o'clock? And I don't even tell them, don't you respond, send me those responses, because there's only a few ways people respond to that. And I know, I've been doing it long enough, and I'm sure Michael and Lisa know how to respond to that too. So when they send back that text and that response, I respond back. So I answer whatever question they get. Usually it's, what is it? Because most of the time, if it ain't what is it, it's like, yeah, 7 o'clock sounds good to me. And then I say, okay, if they're not kneecap to kneecap, like if I can't drive 3-4 hours to get in front of them face to face, because I'd rather do that, I says, well, I'm going to send you a Zoom link. Zoom is free. It's a downloaded app. Go ahead and do that. I even send them a picture how to do that. I said, because what I'm going to show you is about 90% visual, and I really need to be looking at you when I'm sharing this. Yeah, great. And that's when they're sending that out to 10 people, I am setting up easily 7 meetings out of those 10, easily out of that, because they're just curious because you want their opinion. Because most people, I know if Michael and Lisa, I remember I text Mike once on just a product, and he responded back to me instantly, because if you ask somebody for opinion, most people, makes people feel good, right? And they're going to give you their opinion. And so that's how it's so easy for us to set up meetings. Well, this person's still trying to decide if they're going to do this or not. I'm already down underneath building depth mentally, and I'm sharing this business for them. Sometimes they don't even know I'm doing that. We're sharing the business. And then I get somebody, we always get at least one out of that 7 or 8 that's going to, hey, I want to do this. Right? And then I say, hey, okay, well, let's get you going. I'll fill out a paper application immediately, write it down. I get all their information right there. I go back to the person that's trying to decide if they're going to do this or not and say, hey, yeah, remember those 7 guys that we got messages from? And I said, I did meetings with all of them. I've already got one that wants to do this right now. And they're like, what? I go, yeah. And he's getting him at platinum so that you stand to make $400 next Friday. Where are you at with this? Do you want me to put him under you or me? Because this is business. They're like, whoa. Isn't it funny how fast they find the money? Unbelievable how fast they can find the money. And so we literally went 8 deep in a leg in 24 hours doing that, because each person had to decide. 24 hours later, we got somebody that said, hey, you know what? I want to do this. This guy was one of the biggest executives with Monarch Petroleum. That's a big company. One of their big guys said, you know what, Ron? Heck yeah, I just lost 13 grand today on my stock on the stock market. I got 2 kids going to college. I can't afford to lose another $13,000 to $20,000 in one day on my stock. I have to have a backup. Because I told him if he didn't have a plan B, he was a fool. I didn't care how much money he made. He was a fool if he didn't have a plan B. And so he pulled the trigger, and then I went back. And we signed up 8 people within just a couple hours of him saying yes. Everybody found the money, you guys. And so you'll never write on names list doing that. When we're sharing it with people, we're already getting into their names list. Because I know you guys, and I know this has happened to you, Mike and Lisa, because it's happened to me in summer a lot, where you get somebody so dang excited, and I'm going to sign up tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And you call them at 10 o'clock and they're nowhere to be found. Or all of a sudden now, well, I'm just not really sure. It's just because they talked to somebody. And so they allowed somebody to take this from them. Well, at that point, I already got 7 to 10 names from underneath them that I'm already starting to work. And so this is, and I know a lot of people come across this, you guys, but when you sign somebody up, you're looking at, like, say we're presenting to Lisa and Michael right now for this business for the first time. They're awesome, but I'm looking through them. I want to know who they know. And I want to know who that person knows, and that person, and that building depth. I'm automatically building depth. The whole time I'm sharing this presentation with them, I am building depth mentally underneath them. And that's why we never run out of names, you guys. And so this business, I promise you guys, with all these businesses that I've done, this is the easiest thing I've ever done by far, because I don't get caught up on on the results. We just got really good at the actions, right? Because success is just a habit. And once you figure out that habit that works, you just repeat, rinse over and over and over and over again. And that's why this business has just become so much fun for us. Because I know people get frustrated, right? I know people get frustrated. There's been times where we've been frustrated. We just really haven't gotten that frustrated about the last year because we don't ever run out of a names list. And that's when people start to get frustrated. It's like they maybe share it with one person a month and they think they're going to create some kind of momentum at some point where this business is going to take off for them. Massive numbers grow these things, right? Service to many leads to greatness. So you got to go out and you got to serve, 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 and you got to serve. You guys, universal law of success is say just be willing to give a little more than you're willing to receive for a short period of time. That's like that in relationships. That's like that in anything. You've got to be willing to give more than you're willing to receive. And once you're willing to do that, and you know you're doing it for the common good. So if people get in, that's awesome. If they don't, that's okay too, because we learn from every time a person says no, because we're already into their names list. Right? And so if you mentally do that and you get really good at that, you guys, you will never, ever run out of a names list. You know, and so that's kind of how we build depth backwards. We promote these incentive trips and those building depths contests like crazy. We promote. We've never had to go back and rebuild our business. We very rarely even go backwards or ever, because we promote so much that, like these LVAs, like the conventions, every time we've taken a person to them, a lot of times we take people to the LVAs, they don't even know why they're going or what they're going to. 100% sign up, you guys, 100% sign up. By just getting them to there, because they're going to see the culture, they're going to see the excitement, and they sit there like Summer said. They're going to sit. We just talked with Jennings and Gloria's group just before we got on your call. They're going to be sitting there, and they're going to be looking. Wow, all Pro 3 stand up, all Pro 2 stand up, all Pro 4 stand up, Pro 5s come to the front of the room, Pro 6s come to the front of the room, and they're sitting there in the audience looking like, oh my God, if this guy can do it, I'll crush it. Right? And that's what they're thinking, right? Can I do it? And is it real? Those are the two questions they're asking themselves. So obviously it's real. I mean, you see people right there in front of you. Can you do it? Oh my God. You saw a truck driver that can barely spell his name, right? That's crushing this. You saw a little Amish gal. That's a Pro 8 Amish, no cell phone, no computer, no car. How in the heck did you build it? That was a 20-minute phone or a 20-minute sit-down conversation I had with Fannie Mae. And when I walked away from it, I thought, oh my God, this little lady's a fireball, but if she can do it, I'll crush this. Because we have technology, right, Mike? We've got all this stuff, you guys. We literally have built a multi-million-dollar business, a lot of it by sitting in our office in our house right now, because we live in the mountains outside of Missoula, Montana. We get snowed in sometimes, so we can just throw open our computer and just chat. You know, so I hope that helps some of you guys, because that promoting is massive. Promoting is massive, you guys. I'd rather promote somebody to get to a convention or a training than even sign them up.
Hey, Rob.
Right? Because I know.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Let me
Because when I signed up, when Summer signed up, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish up, then I'll ask.
I just, when we signed up, I mean, you sign up and you're going to do it, but we really made a decision. It was at a convention. It was at a convention when we really, truly made a decision that this was a done deal. And it's weird because when we made that decision, it was a done deal. Like, we've got 2 businesses in the same household, plus both our BC2s, which are all, you know, so we double, quadruple dip on all these bonuses coming from every direction. And it's awesome, you guys, to be able to be with your loved ones every day, all day. That's why we did this business. We sold almost all of our companies besides a couple of our clothing companies, but we're still together every day.
I love it.
What was your question that you
had? Go ahead, Mike.
No, Summer, I'm so glad that you jumped on. No, that's great. I'm super inspired. Like, Lisa wrote notes, and I'm super inspired by and Lisa has a question, but I want to just value your guys' time, and if somebody else has 1 or 2 questions with that. But I've heard you guys talk about this before, but talk about, just real quick, the consistency of what it means to be consistent in, like, how we sign people up. Like, you know, I have I have had questions about this. I've never signed up anybody other than a platinum or a gold pack, the 600 pack. I've just never signed it up. 80% of the signups in our group are that. And I've heard you guys talk about this so good. So maybe you can just comment on that real quick about how important it is to stay consistent with those 2 packs and how it sets people up for success and how it can set people up for failure.
I'll just do it for a second. Here's an example. You guys, I've personally sponsored in 67 people in our top business. And our bottom businesses, only 2 personals between our 2 businesses got in under platinum pack. Only 2, and they were both 650 packs. But the rest of them, 100 plus, have got in a platinum, and most of those groups sponsor platinum. We had an 18-year-old kid that went Pro 4 in 22 days. 14 people signed up that month in his business, all at platinum between 18 and 25. A credit card platinum like nothing, but ain't crazy to show it to a 50-year-old man that is struggling to come up with $350. It's just a mindset. It really is, you guys. It's just a mindset. So by us signing them up at 350, we kind of setting them up to fail. We kind of are, because this business is 100% psychological, and you've got to be thinking success, and your self-talk has to be success. So if I sign them up on the cheapest pack, they're not thinking success. They're thinking, I just saved, $900. They're not thinking those success principles. And so that's what we try to do. Babe, go ahead if you want to.
Success leaves clues, right? I always hear you say that, Summer. Success leaves clues, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just staying consistent through that whole process, because we treat this like a business. This is not a part-time hobby for us. This is serious, was serious part-time for us, because we were working our guts out, but we treated it very seriously. And people know that. Is it real? Can I do it? Yes. And Rob and Summer are excited. Those are the 3 things that people take away when we're serious. When we leave a conversation with them, because this is life-changing. This is life-changing for so many people, and it's truly a gift. It really is a gift, you guys. And if we treat it that way, then that's okay.
We got a tribe call after this with our group.
Yes.
But you guys, what's really cool too is these Zoom calls. We do a lot of Zoom meetings because they sponsor a ton of people for us. Our success rate is well over 85% signing people up off these Zoom calls, because it's face-to-face for us. We had over 100. Well, actually, we maxed out on 100 the other day. And so we didn't know that you could only do 100. So we've added now. But out of those 100 people that were on, 14 people signed up. And you know what? Because just groups like this creates excitement. And when you get a lot of people on here, and when we're doing those meetings, and like say Danielle, who's on here, says, you know what? I've got Joe that's going to be on this Zoom. Really, what does Joe do, Danielle? Danielle tells me what that person does. And so when I'm doing that presentation, I'll call Daniel up. I'll say, hey, Dan, how's it going, brother? I just give him credibility to his guy that's on there that doesn't even know what he's really getting ready to hear. And so that credibility, that consistency, that sense of urgency, you've got to have all of those, you guys. You've got to have all of those to create a massive, you've got to have that. That sense of urgency is like, man, we're trying to sign them up even when we're showing this. Like, I don't ever go scale of 1 to 10. I never do that, because if they're 7 to 10, they should be signing up. And what this company says, well, 60% of the customers sign up as distributors later on. That's awesome. But you know why 60% sign up as distributors later on is because people don't close.
Never asked them.
They don't close, right? Right? They don't close. When I met Summer, she had 5 network marketing products in her house, and I never shared this with her because I walked in, I saw 5 different company products. She was just buying products from her friends, supporting them. She never even knew there was a business here.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Rob, I know you guys only have just a couple minutes. Maybe we can take 1 or 2 questions if somebody has.
Yeah, go ahead.
And does anybody want to unmute themselves that maybe have 1 or 2 people have a question for Rob? Does anybody have a question? There's a lot of people on tonight, so does anybody have a question? If you do, just unmute yourself and ask real quick. We're only going to take 1 or 2 people because I want to value their time. There's a lot of people on tonight, so I'm wondering if anybody has a question. Guys, take advantage of this. Lisa might have a question. So if nobody else has a question, I'm going to let my beautiful wife ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go, babe.
So what I kind of wanted was your script, so to speak. When you say, let me show you how easy this is to do, let's send that text out. can you said it, but it was too quick. I didn't quite catch that part.
Taking notes.
Yeah, I just say I've got a project I'm working on, and I would really love your opinion on it. What you doing tonight at 7?
So that's the script you use for your prospect
Every time, every time. And I have them put a time in that's obviously going to work for them, but I'm going to be there.
Oh,
Even if they're not there, I am there.
okay.
And so, yeah. And go ahead.
You reply back to them.
Yes. Yes. Because that new person has no idea how to reply, and they'll screw it up almost 99.9% of the time. And then it just and then after we do 3 or 4, and if they do get enrolled, then they already know how to reply because I already replied for them. And so that's duplicatable. There's only a few ways people reply. And so now he's kind of taken the reins. He's a little bit confident now because he's like, well, I just saw Rob do that. That seemed pretty simple.
So now she can ignore.
Awesome.
Well, somebody can ignore the text I sent from my husband's phone.
Okay, I have to go get it. Maybe.
No, that's good. I'm glad. I just want to thank you guys for coming on. You guys, I love you. If we can ever serve you guys in any way, shape, or form, don't hesitate to ask. We love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good
you guys
weekend.
have a good night.
Have a good week.
Safe travels this week, you guys. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So let me ask you guys, those of you that are on, because this is important. And guys, don't hesitate to do this. How many of you have a takeaway from what Rob just said that you can come on and say, hey, I've learned something just in the last 25 minutes? Because that's what this is about. This is about recognizing stuff that we're not doing and then verbally speaking. So does anybody have a comment or somebody said at least 3? Vic, do you want to comment? Does anybody want to comment? Guys, don't be shy. There's 20 with us 3. There's about 27 people on this call.
I got a comment.
Go ahead, Stacy.
The one where you turn around and he mentioned that the person you're talking to that really doesn't want to get on board with you right at the moment, but he has all those contacts to run through his contact list and start feeding off of his contact list and sharing with them guys, and then showing them that, hey, guess what? Your friend just turned around and wants to sign up, and getting them to actually get motivated to sign up because you actually went down through their contact list and found a couple people that really want to go and get involved in business.
That's it. That's
the nuggets that everybody should take.
That's why we practice on people. And then when we go through, even when Lisa are practicing on people, right? And the Pearson set, and we go through it. Lisa has a friend of hers that just signed up on the product. I said, honey, when you do that, you got to get 8 to 10 names of their contacts right then and there to say, hey, I know you just want to sign up on the product. Do you know, can you give me 8 to 10 names of people that would be interested in the products or interested in the opportunity? And then you go after those 10. Guys, that's how you never run out of contacts, because the average person has 50 to 100 names in their phone. So if every one of your contacts that you got, if you have 100 names in your phone and you're going to get 10 names from them, there's 1,000 people. Guys, if you're not successful by that with the people, and I want to commend Stacy that he's on there. He tied into my friend George Bryant's information, and George blessed him. He was one of the winners of some stuff on there. And guys, it's great to learn this stuff, but let's go implement it. Let's go take some action. Let's see some rank advancements. Let's get some of our team on here. Like, I know there's people right on here that are normally on here every week that are not on tonight, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I just got super, super encouraged by Rob and Summer. Like, Lisa took notes. I'm super encouraged. I just love them. Guys, they win every single promotion that Building Depth ever have. I know if I would have had a little bit more time with them, I was going to pull some other things out. Rob actually said they'll come back on again. And I'm going to have them back on again because, guys, I want them to show you some of the things that they do. They bring the most people to events at their team. When we were in Long Beach, they had 70 some people. You heard Rob say he enrolled like 60 some people, and Summers enrolled. They enrolled 100 people in 2 years. Rob, when he met Summer, didn't even share it with her because she was had like 5 different products of friends that she was supporting. Do you guys, anybody else have a takeaway or something that they're going to implement in the next couple weeks, in the next couple days?
Lisa, could you share those notes if you don't mind?
Yeah, I'll put them on both of our groups. Stay.
Perfect.
Hey, Mike.
Chris, go for it, bro. Take it away.
When you ask the person sitting there, hey, do you know 8 to 10 more people that may want to hear about this or know the business? I'm curious, are they just the people that you're talking to? Are they just handing you over a phone number and say, hey, this is my friend George, he might be interested in it. Just tell him I told you to reach out to him? Or are these guys giving these friends some sort of notice?
He's doing it with them right then and
I'll
there.
answer that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's taking their phone, sending out those texts individually, 8 to 10 people, like copy paste. And then as he's sitting there, as those replies come in, he uses his phone, his prospect's phone, to type back those answers. And then from there,
awesome.
Depending on that reply, he then goes ahead and either
Introduces
grabs
himself,
that name and number.
Introduced himself, said, I'm here with your friend. And I'm actually gonna do an interview with Rob about exactly how he actually goes through all of that. And I talked to him earlier before we got on the call because I knew they were going to be short for time because they have another call. But I'll go through that with him, and I'll do a Zoom with him and have him walk me through about 10 minutes of exactly how that works.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd like to see how that works because that is very interesting.
They crush it that way. Like I met the 18-year-old that they're talking about won the incentive trip at Building Depth this last time. He's going on the cruise with all the elites. We can't go because of a conflict with another thing, but he just made Pro 4 a month ago. So, I mean, they signed up 14 people in his downline within 24 to 48 hours. So, I mean, reason I tell you guys this all the time is that going to Building Depth has got us around those type of people that has kept us things. Destiny, you want me to unmute you? Hold on a second. Where are you? Destiny, are you still on there? I don't see you now.
Yeah, I'm here.
There you go. Go ahead. You have a question?
Hey, I'm not sure if you can hear me or I'm driving, but
I can hear you fine.
I was going to say that, okay, their sincerity and just their sense of urgency is like contagious, or it should be. They listen to them speak and talk about it. It just, like, if I wasn't signed up, it makes you want to sign up, So I enjoy listening to them a lot. So.
Yeah, and guys, like I got some texts from the accountability of people who are going to LifeVantage Academy this weekend in Atlanta, in Cleveland. Guys, it's a sacrifice, but it's worth it. Like Linda texted me, she's going to LVA in Cleveland. That's a leader, guys. That's somebody who's doing what they say they're going to do. I'm telling you guys that if you go ahead. Did you have something else, Destiny, you want to say?
Who's speaking at LVA this weekend in Atlanta? Does anybody know?
Yes.
Coming to Atlanta?
I'll tell you in 30 seconds. Just give me a second. But guys, does anybody else have a comment or want to say something about maybe something they learned or maybe a question that they have? Because I think it's great for you guys to kind of see people with urgency, and that urgency like Destiny just said, that urgency will allow you to see what's really happening inside people who are really out there doing this business. So did you guys have Brian and Holly last month, Destiny?
Yeah, that's who we had, yes.
Well, guess who you have this month?
Who?
Take a guess.
I have no clue.
Rob and Summer Smolack.
No way. That's awesome. Thank God. Oh, that's great. I have a person that may sign up as a distributor. I hope. I'm gonna invite them, and I'm closing them this weekend. That's it.
Bring them.
Good. There you go.
Right,
Got
awesome.
Robin
Thank
Summer. You got Robin Summer this weekend. So that's awesome. So And those of you in Cleveland, I'm looking for you guys too. And if those of you that are elsewhere, if you want to, those of you, oh, wow, those of you in Cleveland have Sherry Hollenbeck. Don't miss that. Go to that one. That'll be awesome. No, this is last month, honey. This is September.
Oh, September. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
October, we had an event in November,
Yeah.
so everybody moves down. So yeah, so you guys have, you have, Cleveland has Sherry Hollenbeck, so don't miss that, you guys. Change your plans. Whatever you're doing, make sure you go on Saturday.
Denver has
So-
rye fry.
Yeah, Denver has rye fry, which is even, like, you guys are getting all the, I mean, everybody's good, but you guys are getting the cream of the crop every time. So
San Diego gets my kiwi.
yeah, they do. That's going to be great. Oh, Julia said great. Yeah. Anybody else? Guys, anybody else real quick before we let you guys go have a question or comment? I want you guys to remember that, guys, start making sure that your distributors have auto ship, okay? Because people are complaining about not getting paid and all kinds of things. Guys, it's really simple. If you take an ultimate stack, you have an auto ship every single month. It's what I do. You invest. The best investment you can ever make is in your health. Lisa and I are the healthiest we've been in 10 years. And so I just want you guys to know that, Indy, look up Indy. Here, I'll tell you real quick. Somebody I can just text. Indy, Vic is, I'm sorry. Indy is Scott Satterfield, I think. Yeah, Scott Satterfield.
Is there one in Bangor this weekend?
Yes, there is. And Bangor has, let me tell you real quick, Stace. Bangor has Dan Mullering, one of the best teachers in the company. So, and Dan is from Boston, Massachusetts.
Time to go for a drive, I guess.
Yeah. So,
Thanks.
you're welcome. Anybody else? Comment, question, huh?
Anybody else want to know?
Does anybody else need to know? Or does anybody else have a comment or a question? Guys, I just wanted to share this with you real quick before we go, okay?
Mike?
Yeah.
Hi, Mike. This is Jerry.
Hey, Jerry. How you doing?
Hey, Mike. Hi, Lisa and everyone. I've got a question.
Shoot.
Can a preferred customer remove themselves from their distributor to go to another distributor?
If you call me, they can. There's a new process with that. So just we'll tell you. Just if you have Lisa and I's phone number, just call one of us tomorrow and we'll talk with you about it.
I don't know if I do.
I have yours. I'll text you my number.
Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Question or comment? Guys, what a great call. No. I didn't. So, guys, thank you so much for joining. I'm super excited. I just wanted to share this before we go. Is I mapped out my week on this piece of paper and I put it in my phone. You guys can see I'm doing 15 minutes of new exposure, 15 minutes of follow-up, and 15 minutes of what I call appreciation every single day. I have it mapped out. I have the names of the people I'm doing it with. I'm going to sign up a couple people this month. I have a lot of close. Some of these say close. Like right here's Shauna McVeigh in Ireland. I'm going to close her this week. My friend Tim Douglas, whose sister has six. My friend Tim, guys, here's how good our company is. My friend Tim Douglas right here is my accountability partner, lives in South Carolina. He has $60,000 in volume in his other company, and his paycheck is zero. Okay? He'd have a $4,000 or $5,000 a month paycheck if he had it in our company. Okay? At the minimum, he'd have $1,000. Okay? So even if he just had one or two legs. Okay? So like what Rob was saying, guys, we're still in the infancy stages of people understanding our technologies. It blows my mind. It blows my mind the people that are joining this company, cardiologists, and guys, you're going to have doctors come and go too, because they can't handle what it takes to do this business sometimes. I have people, I have a person in my group on the field advisory board that doesn't do anything with his business, and it's slowly but surely fading out. I don't understand it, but it's not for me to understand. It's not for you to understand, because you're going to have people come into this in the next 3 to 5 years that will build you extensive generational wealth. And I believe that for every single person. Okay. So anybody comment or question? Somebody unmuted themselves.
It's Destiny.
Go ahead.
So something, it's kind of unrelated, but I've been doing this training, the code, it's called thecodetraining.com. I'm not sure who put it together, but anyways, it's really good. There's a lot of social media stuff on there. And it's stuff that I've seen some of the Zoom calls before, but it's really extensive and it's good. There's like 40 something modules. I'm almost done with them, but it's really, really good. I think y'all should check it out if you haven't already.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. Awesome. And guys, here's the biggest thing about my follow-up. Okay. You guys heard Rob say it. You have to close people. Most of you are, and you guys heard it. Only 17 to 16% or 14% of people are going to sign people up because you're not closing people. And because Rob uses a third-party validation on every single person that he signs up, right? That's why he uses Zoom. That's why he gets people on the Zoom with him. Marcel said Marcel took them under their wing and told me did 100 three-way phone calls for them in a period, length of period of time, like 3 to 6 months or something. Like, wow, Master Pro 10 doing calls for you, right? Guys, now is our time. And I just want to remind you, if you want to go see 25 elites speak for 2 days, go to Building Depth in St. George. I'm telling you, we've sacrificed. Guys, here's what happened. And I don't know what's going to happen. I took a job because I can and I want to, because it's going to build massive momentum in our business with meeting people. I'm going to be the head track and field coach at a massive high school in Orlando. And the season is right in the middle of the Cancun trip, right? So this person might be taking somebody else, Julia.
She's not going to be in the States.
Oh, she's not?
No, she'll be at the Galapagos.
Oh.
With her niece.
Well, thanks for telling me that right now while we're in the middle of the call. But she might be taking somebody else. I would tell her to take a non-distributor, because what we did? We sacrificed the last bit of money that we had to go. Some of you guys can still go. You just can't stay at the main resort. You can stay at the other part of it. You can still go.
Fred and Beth got one of the last rooms in the room block.
Yeah. So, you guys, I hope that you guys will understand the significance of what's happening and how important this is and where we are with this. And those of you that were in the accountability call, send me a picture of your of your schedule. Linda just did hers. Guys, mine is super detailed, like super detailed. I'm telling you guys what right now, LinkedIn groups, I have 20 new prospects every week from LinkedIn groups, 20 new ones. And I'm going to start signing them up left and right. So guys, thank you so much for being on the call tonight. I love every single one of you guys. You guys are all our family. And
You're rock stars.
We pray for you guys all the time. We love you. We appreciate you. I hope that you guys will take what you just learned tonight and put it into action. Guys, we love you. Have a great week. We will talk to you soon. Pray for us. We pray for you. Have a good one. Bye-bye, guys. Love you.